welcome back to segment 3. I'm Jess.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Jody.
I'm Tetra.
And we're going to start off with the article we've all in the room been waiting for. Jody, take it away.
The controversial article of the week. Racist? Why not multicultural? This is a student pick from bestoftheblogs.com by Mary Meehan. Let me start by saying what the article is about. The article is written by a woman in reaction to an article that she read and misunderstood about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches being interpreted as potentially racist. And she read an article about that schools in Oregon were going to try and eliminate this. One school. Sorry, excuse me.
And one school in Oregon. Yeah.
One principal in one school in Oregon was going to eliminate this from the menu to try and make other students feel included and less alienated by the cuisine choice. And therefore, Miss Meehan went on kind of a rampage about how are peanut butter and jelly sandwiches racist, and she just couldn't find the meaning of racism in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and then went on to deny white privilege and declared that she too is a racist because she enjoys sandwiches.
I don't think she was denying white privilege.
She was completely denying white privilege.
No. What she was saying is that if you're looking for white privilege, you're going to find it in everything. If you're looking to find it, you're going to find it. And is there white privilege in serving a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in school? It's cheap, it has protein in it and carbs that keep you full.
I don't think there's anything wrong. I mean, and I don't think that even the principal who is just saying, okay, so this is a typical political way of getting attention over nothing. Like the story is nothing. Nothing really happened.
Yeah.
And people take these small incidences and make them seem like they're indicative of a larger problem in the culture or something, when really it's just one principal saying this one thing, like, hey, if all we serve is peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, then people who don't eat that as part of their culture may not feel as welcome at my school. And okay, yeah, sure, go ahead, try something else, no big deal. But then this person takes it and blows it completely out of proportion.
And it exploded on the green page.
Oh, yeah,
Every
great.
single comment that's up for comment of the week this week was from that article. All
Oh, is
5
that right?
of them.
I haven't one comment.
And then they were all this long.
Yeah, good. That's great. I mean, maybe the only good thing to come out of this person's foolish rant would be the discussion that ensues afterwards. But
Yeah. So from the original article, it was. The Tribune noted the school started this new year with an intensive staff training and frequent staff meetings, classroom behaviors, observations, and other initiatives to help educators understand their own white privilege in order to change their teaching practices to boost minority students' performance. And so that was obviously missed the mark with this woman. And I would say that after reading all the comments on the green page, they were completely divided. People were like, this woman is so right, what's racist about a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? And I agree with her, and what's what's everyone else's problem? How are we finding racism? And when the truth is the sandwich is just not inclusive, right? Mm-hmm. So I have an article or a comment from Zoe, who says, this author is so frustrating, she completely missed the point. It's not that PB&Js are inherently racist. It's that other cultural foods are not served, which can be ostracizing to students. And she goes on to say basically what we've kind of already said. PB&Js are not the problem. The problem is that America touts itself as the melting pot of the world and then doesn't teach or emphasize the acceptance or understanding of other cultures. And hopefully adding other foods can start this process.
I just want to interject there because of the end of that comment. I thought the funniest part of Miss Meehan's article was when she said, well, aren't burritos and gyros a kind of sandwich too? No, they're not. They're not a sandwich. If that's what you think, then you have a problem. You should probably try something else in your life.
I do think, though, she made one valuable comment at the end, is that if you're looking for racism, you're gonna find it. And it's just people in today's society, I think, are so focused on racism that they're going to see it everywhere when it's just...
Well, racism
that's what it
is
is.
everywhere.
Right, but I mean, I think there are sometimes
I mean, I
instances
think-
where like people are just living their lives. You're racist. It's like
I think
why?
the
I'm
problem
not
isn't that
trying
there's
to be
racism
racist.
everywhere, it's that people use it to this heightened level. Like, I think that if you understand the prejudice in yourself, if you're honest with yourself about how you react to different people and to otherness and to all the things that can build into racism, then the actual structure of racism breaks down. And that, to me, that's the most important thing. I think people saying, oh, I'm not prejudiced, I'm not racist, like, that's for me anyway, I don't believe that that's productive.
Well, Jamila said something to that effect as well. She said, what is this about a sandwich? Can we talk about the real issues? Let's
Yes.
talk about the girl who was told she had to tame her hair because it was, too distracting. Let's talk about, X and Y, Z. And she went on to name all these other issues. And I think she's really right. I'm going to end with my snarky comment, though. The food at my kid's school hates everyone.
Great.
Well,
Oh, wow.
racism. Let's jump to a completely different topic.
Let's do something like eco theater. Might be better. Well, okay. The aesthetic evolution of eco theater, and this is by Dylan Slagle, and this is editor pick from Howrah.com. It's a great site. So, talking about eco theater and how they like change from the past. But some say that like eco theater has been like changed a lot since like within this like past years. So like since now eco concern has become like the thing that people concern the most. Like we're always talking about like greenhouse gases, the global warming stuffs, right? And like but the first eco theater has been like appeared long time before that. But before that, it's not like focused on the problem.
Mhm.
It would be like from like other perspective, from other views, like social, like economic and stuff. And then now there's such like, oh, well, why shouldn't we focus on this kind of issue? And it's kind of work. I mean, we focus more on like using the pesticide and stuff, and become actually some of them like came from like based on true story, like true situation that happened like everywhere around the world, right? Like for example, like this Heroes and Saints, they have like they talk about the effects pesticide on physical and spiritual body based on the situation that happened in California, and this is kind of cool.
It's
Right.
interesting that this comes up now because actually if you poll Americans now in the past 5 years, the environment, which in the early 2000s was one of the number one political concerns, is now like way down the list because the economy
Right.
went down. So now the number one concern that everybody has is economy and jobs, and nobody cares about the environment anymore. I mean, you can
Right.
see it happening in our political system too. It's pretty. I don't know. It's anyway. Sorry, that's a little bit off topic, but it's interesting that the theater is now making this resurgence on a topic that is less in the news. It's less in people's minds. It's less in conversation.
I also
Yeah.
feel like it's been around for a while. I think this is just what
It's
you're
something
finally
that
hearing
we-
Oh
about.
yeah. No, it's not. A new, I mean, that's part of the
Yeah.
article's point.
It's
This is
something
not a
that
new
we've been
thing.
hearing for like 10 years already.
I think
right?
maybe it's also that it's just sort of finding its voice now, because it's hard to talk about the material world that isn't human. I mean, we tell stories about other people. We don't necessarily tell stories about the environment. You have to it's an interesting problem to find a way to talk about what's happening in the world around us with vis-a-vis pesticides and vis-a-vis pollution in the air, without it just being like, a play about, tree number 1 and tree number 2. It's not.
Yeah, you have to make it relate to someone for them to
Exactly.
understand what the whole point of it is.
Theater is one of the least green businesses out there.
It also is, totally. totally
Did
hypocritical
anybody
for us
see
to
the
be-
dumpsters last week? and such how many pages we kill on the copier?
But like
80-page scripts. I mean, come on, least green business.
and they say like, wow, they tried, but there's some kind of like theater, like eco theater tried to do something like use something edible set,
Mhm.
and they say like this kind of
yeah.
like eco-friendly stuff. go to the theater.
Did anybody see the edible set on Facebook last week?
No.
What's
The,
this?
the potato stick and graham cracker version of Nina Variations. I'm not kidding. I don't know. It must have been Holly. I think. It was great. It was beautiful. We should have just done it that way. Ellie, next time. Okay, so face painting to end.
Well, just real quick on the last
Yeah.
one.
Sorry.
I just want to throw out that we have a CNU connection to this article. One of the sources was Wendy Arendt's book.
Oh right.
So, yay,
Oh,
Wendy!
right.
Wendy.
All right, kick us off with something
Johnny.
light to end the segment.
Something light to end this heavy segment, this heavy controversial segment. So, simply study examples of a next level face painting. This is a student pick from fashionablygeek.com by Amy Ratcliffe. It was basically just kind of this collection of completely exquisite photos. This guy, Alexander, I forgot his name. Alexander something.
I couldn't pronounce it if I.
Yeah. Sorry, sir. Has taken face paint to the next level and disguised the natural features on people's faces and mastered the art of perspective to create these works of art on people's faces. There was my favorite, if you didn't just look at this and you went to the original website, was the QR code. I really liked the QR code, and there was the mosaic face, and
Alright.
I think in the comments the popular one was the one with the woman whose laces were going up, the laces going up her face.
Alright.
What do you guys think?
I really like the pop-up one.
The which one?
Andrew, your
Pop
face
art.
is
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that was so cool.
I wasn't that. I mean, maybe I'll just be the outlier here. I just wasn't that impressive.
I mean, honestly, I feel like a lot of artists have been doing this for a long time. I just think this was so unique because of the perspective this artist was able to gain. He was able to really, you could just not see the expressions and the facial features of the people. You could just see the art if you were looking at it that way.
But it's funny you say that because the first thing.
Monet's pretty good at perspective too, though.
Well, the first thing I thought of when I saw this was a while ago, Sports Illustrated, because they have the swimsuit spread every year. One year, this was, I want to say at least a decade, maybe even 2 decades ago, they threw away swimsuits and did all with paint and body paint. And I was trying to look up some images of that, and it's not much different. It's not much different at all. So it's just like Andrew said, this isn't really that new.
I liked the pixelated one because I loved that one actually. That was like the woman's face broken up so that it looked like it was these big pixels. And that was
Yeah.
convincing. I mean, to me, there was a lot of depth to that photo, but I don't know. I'm sorry, I couldn't get behind it.
I like the one where he turned her face into a comic. I thought that was cool, where he took something 3D and made it 2D.
Yeah, that one.
I thought that was pretty cool.
But yeah, there wasn't really an article as far as I could tell. It's just a
Yeah,
bunch
it's
of
just a bunch of
pictures.
pictures.
So.
Well,
Good stuff.
Good fluff, good fluff. I'm going to take my quote from, this one's from Adam Kennard, and he says, "I'm sorry computer people out there, but Adobe is not as cool as doing it in real life."
There you go.
There you go.
Okay. All right.
So-
and anything else?
No, I was just saying that wraps us up for this week. Have a lovely holiday. This is our last
Yes.
semester.
We will be back at the end of January, starting again, so stay tuned.
We know you can't wait. Have a good Happy New Year.
Oh.
Racist multicultural though, the peanut butter.
oh, here we go.